So guys, welcome back to my video. And going forward into my weekly trading documentary, I am going to be changing the trajectory of how I make my weekly videos to a way that will actually encourage me focusing on the process rather than profit, me being accountable with my trades and every single thing, and most importantly creating value for my viewers and me, right? Because you are surely going to learn one or two things from the way I want to start doing videos right now, making my weekly documentary. And yeah, I'm going to be showing every single thing, how I journal, what I'm journaling, the single trade breakdown of every trades I took in the week, kind of like a weekly reflection thing, and everything I am looking forward to like stop doing and improve on in my personal trading journey, right? Without further ado, guys, let's get right into the video. So guys, like I said, so let's start from the journaling aspect. So the first trade I took for this week was May 27. That was on Tuesday, right? That was on Tuesday, and it was a sell. So now let's take a look at the trade. Let me check the higher time frame. Let me check the trade. Okay, so this was the trade I took on Tuesday, right? As you guys can see, Tuesday, and it was a loss. And the reason I took the trade was due to, let me come back to my journal self. So the reason I took the trade was try line break plus a breakout, right? And also higher time frame confirmation of a trend line break, right? So if you guys watch, we had a higher time frame trend line break right here. Break and retest basically. So my own idea of trend line break are simply that okay, price would actually wanna like keep on going down to like like let's say we have a trend line like this. Let's say we have a trend line touches like this, and then we have a trend line break. So my idea is that price would get here, right, to the bottom of this trend line, and of course not all times, but my idea is that price would at least get somewhere here. Then where price gets to, before probably coming back up, will now be like maybe a weekly support or weekly fair value gap or something like that, right? But like my idea is that price is going to get all the way here. But if there's like a weekly fair value gap here, of course I won't still be predicting that maybe price will get all the way to the bottom of the trend line, right? So that's like my idea when I'm looking to enter a trade, especially if you have a trend line break like this, right? So my idea is just that okay, so I was just targeting 103, and then we had a breakout. So before I look for my pattern, I wait for a break of anything, break of trend line, break of break of low, break of high, break of structure, right? So because I don't like trading in a consolidated market, you understand what I mean? So I'm gonna first wait for the breakout and then wait for my COT confirmation, right? So all these I might not really be doing them in upcoming series because I just want you guys to know, okay, this is what I trade and all, right? So the COT confirmation, 90% of the time is going to give us a consolidation in the lower time frame. And what is the COT confirmation, right? So let me just bring up I think I should have okay. So this is the COT. Now when I say COT is made up of two candles. Now COT is just a name I gave to this candle formation, which is continuation candle formation, right? Because that's what it simply is, right? So it's two candles, this first candle and this candle. As you can see, the close of this candle was not above this high, right? So most of the time, 90% of the time, if you go to the lower time frame, this is going to be a consolidation, right? And as you can see, it was the break of this high, and then the COT, and then this guy. So now let me give you guys my example. uh, so as guys can see, this is another COT. So this is like my COT playbook, right? This is another COT right here. As guys can see, this candle, we are going to have a bullish candle. That is if I'm going to be buying, right? I'm going to have a bullish candle, and this is the 1 hour time frame, right? So this is also a COT, and I've done a lot of study on this, and it actually works. A lot of back testing, and it has an edge, right, in the market. This is a COT right here. As you guys can see, this is a COT. As you can see, this price. So there was a invalidation rule I had, but whenever price melts back before it closes, then it's still valid, right? But if price come below this, the lowest point of this previous candle, and closes somewhere here, right, like a full candle, right, then it's invalid. It's already invalid like that. This is also a COT right here. So now that we know what I'm talking about, if you come back to the trade I took, you're gonna understand that okay, I had a COT formation right here. So I had a COT, a 30-minute COT. Let me come to the 30-minute time frame. 30-minute COT. Right, as you guys can see, I had a 30-minute COT right here. These two candles. Now this would have been a COT, but as you can see, the body of the candle closed below this low, right? So as you can see, this the body of the candle closed in this low, and if you go to the lower time frame, this was a consolidation. Like 90% of the time it's going to be a consolidation, but price did not get to our take profit, right? Price didn't get to our take profit before price reversed and up. So price made a double bottom in a reaction to, I think, a daily zone, right? But like I said, I don't look at daily zone, especially when we have things like this. If I had my COT somewhere here, then my take profit is going to be at the daily zone. But if I have my COT, most of the time, if I have my COT at a zone, price is still going to give me my 1 show 3 that I'm looking for. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So that's due to back testing and also yeah. So this was the first trade I took, right? So it was a good loss to me and to my rule and to my model. This is a good loss, and now I'm going to be going on to the second trade I took for the week, and I lost 1%, of course. So I'm going to be putting the screenshot of what I lost on that particular trade right here, so as to be, transparent. And also so the second trade I took, that was, let me check the dates. So that was on Friday, right? The second trade I took was on Friday. So where is it? So this was the second trade I took right here. Alright guys, so this was the second trade I took, and it was also a loss, and I'm going to be giving guys the breakdown of the trade if I broke a rule or something like that. So let me come back to trading view. So that was on Friday. As you guys can see, this is the COT candle. COT was just printing like almost everywhere here. Sometimes you're just going to keep on printing COT candles, COT candles. So this was also a COT, but this was not in my session, right? These two candles, these first two candles created a COT, then these two candles also created another COT again, but these are the 30-minute COTs. So but this was not in my session, right? And so this is a clear example of what I was saying. Price also reacted to a zone right there. So if I entered here, my take profit is just going to be at the zone, but my 1 show 3 is was not when I like review the trade. I won't call it a missed trade because it's not in my session, right? Let me check the time. What's the time? Okay, the time was 12 a.m. So it was not in my session, as you guys can see. So like, regardless of maybe I had a zone here that I'm marking out, and it's maybe like 1 show 4, 1 show 5. Now I'm following a specific risk to reward, which is 1 show 3. So my 1 show 3 would have been somewhere here. Like I said, I did the review or something like that. So these are also COT candles, as you guys can see. So now this trade here, the reason I did not take this trade, as you can see, it was 12:30 p.m. That's why I couldn't take the trade right there. No, what am I saying? The reason I did not take the trade was that I was waiting for my COT here at somewhere here, because where I would be taking my take profit, was somewhere here, right? And it was not really giving the risk to what I want, right? It was not even up to 1 show 2. Like, if I should take my take profit according to my analysis, so this would have not given me, and I cannot enter, because there was I treat trend line as an obstructant, right? So let me show you guys what I was saying. So I had a trend line here. I marked out the trend line here. So at the break, I was waiting for a COT somewhere here, so that I can take my profit at the second trend line. So let me show you guys what I'm saying. So I also drew another trend line from somewhere here like this, right? From somewhere here. I also had another trend line, okay, like this. So as you guys can see, after the break of this trend line, I was waiting for my COT somewhere here, and then I did not have a COT, right? Price did not give me the COT I was looking for, and then price gave me a COT just at this, almost at this trend line. And I pay attention to trend line as my obstructant. I do not want to have that scenario. I've done this mistake a lot, whereby COT is going to appear at the trend line, and I'm just going to assume it's going to break, right? It has cost me a lot. So yeah, so that's why I did not take this trade. So for this loss, as you guys can see, I also had a break right here. I was waiting for price to, come back to the top of this trend line and this zone. There was also a zone here, because price had already, given us a break right here. And there was also, so let me just delete this guy. So if we go to the 4 hour time frame, we had, you know we had something like this. In the 4 hour time frame, we had a zone there that I was looking to take, something like this, a head and shoulder, basically, right? So a head and shoulder. So I was just waiting for that counter trend line to break, and when the counter trend line broke, price gave me a COT, but unfortunately it was a loss, right? So I was just waiting for something like this to happen, right? Not even targeting too much. So let me come back to the 30 minutes and just delete this guy. So we had a higher time frame head and shoulder. We had a trend line break and retest. We had some couple of weak reaction, and I was just waiting for the trend line to break. And at the break of the trend line, a COT formed, and then this candle just came to give me a fake out, and then reversed significantly, right? It reversed significantly, and those were the two trades I took. But now going forward, yeah, let me come back to my back testing. I want to show you guys something going forward. Going forward, according to the back testing I've done, that I did not collect data on, like my knowledge about studying my exact COT module. So let me come to where's the back tested data? Okay. So according to my back testing data, I found out that Okay, I'm coming. So I'm gonna be removing the 30 COT. So I'm gonna be removing the 30-minute COT and just focusing on 1 hour COT. Because the first reason, the most important reason, or the first reason why I'm gonna be removing this 30-minute COT is that number one, it has a lower win rate than the 1 hour COT formation. And number two is that the insertion of the 30-minute COT was actually an impulsive decision for my end, right? Because prior to, I think I just added this like last month, because there was a time I wasn't really seeing trades, and then I just added the 30 minutes. I went to the lower time frame, and I saw that okay, this 30 minutes also works. It works, but it has a lower win rate than the 1 hour COT, right? So, and it was also an impulsive decision from me. So I just want to like cut that out and just focus on the 1 hour COT. And if you guys watch right here, you see that most of my losses. So I just started this back testing like 2 days ago, or no 3 days ago actually. So I'm currently at 25 trades. So the prior back testing I've been doing, we're kind of like back testing to see if I have an edge. But now I know I have an edge in my COT candle, right? Formation. But now I'm gaining data to okay, how frequent do I take trades? How many losses do I take? On a more objective scenario, what is my win rate, right? Not guessing or something like that. So I'm kind of get like data collection. You understand what I mean? So this is why I'm doing this. And I also have a goal of backtesting every day, which I haven't missed. And so like I said, I'm doing this to also be accountable, because I'm this kind of person that I struggle with being consistent in the long run. What do I mean by that? I'm going to be consistent now, not consistent again, and that's kind of like affecting my equity curve. As you can see, my equity curve is not also consistent. Your equity curve is a reflection of your habits, your daily habits, right? So if you guys watch, okay, let me come to the calendar. Let me show you guys the view of what I'm trying to say. So in this calendar, you're going to see that okay, so of course my backtesting is profitable. My backtesting have always been profitable, but I've been interfering. I've not been. So the 1 hour. So when I did the calculation, 6 losses out of all these losses, and this is just 20 trades. So I did the calculation at 20 trades, right? At 20 trades right here. That's when I did the calculation, and 6 losses out of 20 trades were. So I kind of had like 10 win, 10 loss, 2 break even. So like I think 9 win. It was kind of like a 50% rate in that 20 trade. And then I did a calculation. 6 out of the losses were 30 minutes. So the remaining 4 were 1 hour, 1 hour COT. And the wins I just had like 4 or 3 wins of 30 minutes COT. So will it be profitable? Of course, it's a profitable entry model of the 30 minutes. It's also profitable, but like I said, I want to I'm focusing on lesser things. And like I also said, the insertion with the 30 minutes was an impulsive decision, emotional decision at first. All right. So that's why I just want to like, okay. And when I also looked at it, I also made a realization that I'm going to be taking lesser trade if I remove the 30 minutes, right? But what I want to do now is that, okay, I looked at it out of the back testing I've done, not in a data format like this, the knowledge I've got, the studying I've done, I found out, okay, well, how can I have more trade? Because if I remove the 30 minutes, I'm going to be having an average of 1 trade per week. And that is not going to be good for my psychology. I know myself. That's not good for my, like, it's just too low, right? As a day trader con. So how can I increase it to like 2 to 3 average, average 2 trades average per week, right? How can I increase it then? Out of the back testing I've done, not this one of course, uh I'm gonna start trading the golden session back, which is 8 to 11 o'clock p.m. I found out that time, why I call it the golden session, is that I have better win rates at that time: 8 to 10, 8 to 11, 20 to 23. So I have a better win rate. And also for the COT, I'm gonna making a refinement on the COT that's gonna make me have better win rate, better more trades, and still within the win rate that it already has, right? And also when it comes to re-entering of trades, so I'm gonna open my rule to a way that okay, I'll be able to re-enter trade when the COT is still valid, when those two candles are still valid. It might just, the first one usually is to be a fake out. So most of the time, when that COT is still valid and I have a fake out, price is still gonna come back and break and then go to my intended take profit. You understand? Most of the time it happens, right? So that is a way to, okay, increase the amount of trades I take. So like I said, I'm not even looking to take like 3 to 4 trades per week. 2 trades per week is okay for me, but one trade is too low when it comes to like my psychology, and not, going to the lower time frame to look for things again, right? So like I said, the purpose of me having this kind of data is to, okay, how much trades do I take per per week? Am I fine by it? Am I not fine by it? Okay, let's do this. If I'm not fine by it, do you understand what I mean when it comes to like a psychological perspective also? And that is one of the reasons why I'm having a data format like this. So like I said, I just started like 3 days ago, and it's more, how do I put it? It's more, you are going to be more invested on a trade to trade basis when you are having data like this, because the backtesting I do before, I don't do it like this, so I can cover more trades in a shorter period of time, right? This time is the time whereby we really have to focus and really put our all into trading, because if you don't do it now, when are we going to do it? Like, we really have to make, we're not getting younger. You understand what I mean? We really have to lock in and get data, work on, because most of the psychology problem that we have are due to lack of data. Most of them are due to lack of data, right? So I think that's all I want to show for now, right? And if you guys want me to do like a tutorial video, I've done a tutorial video on this Notion tutorial already. But if you want me to do another one, maybe an advanced one, I can do it. Just let me know in the comment section or something like that. And yeah, that'll be all for. So the current win rate of these 20 trades is just like, I kind of came out like, with the 30 minutes, I kind of came out like, 15 to 13% in profit. I forgot when I did the calculation, right? So yeah, that will be all for this video. I don't think there's anything I still want to show, right? So this is how I'm going to be doing the video henceforth. It encourage process over results. It encourage a lot of positive things that will propel us into getting profitable faster, right? And also, like I said, creating value for myself and for the viewers watching, right? All right, guys, let me know if you guys love this kind of model, how I'm making this video now. Let me also know, and I'm going to be catching you guys in the next video. Peace out.